Alright, so before we get into the video, we got some breaking news in boxing. Terrence Crawford is set to fight on October the 23rd. And his list of opponents is either gonna be, hold on guys, it's either gonna be Jose Cepeda, Regis Prograis, or Jose Ramirez. That's his options if he ain't able to fight any of the PBC fighters like Keith Thurman, Danny Garcia, or Sean Porter. And if he can't fight any of those guys, most likely it will wind up being Zepeda or Ramirez. Me personally, I think that Terrence Crawford would smoke through all of them. Zepeda, we all know of how good Zepeda is. You know, like, of course, you know, we all know how good Cepeda is. You know, we all know how good, you know, Ramirez is. But, come on. Like, first of all, Terrence Crawford is unified. Second of all, just, like, he has a lot better skills than both Jose Cepeda and Jose Ramirez. Like, I just don't really see Terrence Crawford losing to any of those guys. So, like, if they end up fighting, if I would rather pick, you know, between Zepeda or Ramirez, I would more like to see him versus probably Jose Zepeda. It would be a good fight, because it wouldn't really make him look good if he's fighting somebody that's coming off a loss, you know, like Jose Ramirez came off a loss against Josh Taylor, but the fight, it's okay. I would rather see Crawford versus Josh Taylor. I think that would make a very good fight, unified versus unified. But, you know, fat old Bob Arum doesn't want to make that. You know, I'm not trying to be offensive, but freaking Bob Arum wants to just sit on his butt and just, you know, not do anything and just say, oh, what about Jose Cepeda? Like, come on, you could have got him a better fight like Keith Thurman or freaking Yordenis Ugas or something. Like, come on, you put him against Jose Cepeda. I'm not saying that Jose Cepeda ain't good. We all know how good he is. He is a talented fighter. You know, he beat guys like, you know, Jose Petraza. You know, that's probably like his only, like, that's the first fight I ever seen of him was Jose Petraza. No. Jose Ramirez. I seen him fight Jose Ramirez. But you know, it's all right. You know, not necessarily the best. You know, I think that Terrence Crawford would have run through both of them like a doorway. I think he would stop or knock out Jose Cepeda. And same for Jose Ramirez. I think he would actually knock out Jose Ramirez. But man, dude, just Bob Arum needs to retire, bro. Please. Or just release Terrence Crawford, bro. Please. Good God, dude. It's so annoying because we all know how good Terrence Crawford is. Like, it's not him, dude. Like, it's really not him. People say it is him, but it really isn't. It's more of Bob Arum. He's on a freaking contract. Like, get that through your mind. He's on a contract. But, like, you know, it's just Bob Arum ain't doing his job, dude. Like, Terrence Crawford is just needs to leave Bob Arum, dude. It's so annoying. It's so freaking annoying, dude. It really gets me pissed off because, you know, Bob Arum does not know how to promote right. Jose Cepeda, again, is a great fighter, but he's nowhere near the skill level of Terrence Crawford. What makes you think that Jose Cepeda should fight a unified champion like Terrence Crawford? Like, for real, like, no way, bro. Like, I think Cepeda would get knocked the hell out. But in my opinion, I think most likely his next opponent is going to be Jose Cepeda. Because he does have a contract. He does have a contract with Top Rank until, you know, October. So this is going to be his last fight with Top Rank. Just, man, dude, it's so frustrating, man. It's so frustrating. Just, man, dude. I just really hope Terrence Crawford leaves ESPN. Because fat old Bob Arum does not know, because fat old Bob Arum does not know how to promote right, bro. Just does not know how to promote right, man. Just, I'm not that much of a fan of the fight. But anyways, yeah. So, on to the video. Hey, what's up, y'all? Preston from Fight Media 360 here. So this is a quick preview and prediction for one of my favorite boxers, Vasyl Lomachenko versus Masayoshi Nakatani. So I can't wait for this fight. This is a great comeback for Vasyl Lomachenko and a very good step-up fight for Nakatani. I really hope Vasyl Lomachenko wins and wins in a very good fashion, because people are like, they're right now they're very tough on Lomachenko because he did come off a big loss against Teofimo Lopez. So they're really paying attention to Lomachenko. So I really hope that Lomachenko beats the tough Masayoshi Nakatani in good fashion. So yeah. Now it's time. Let's talk about their stats, then the odds, and then what they need to do to win, and then my final prediction. So let's start off with Vasyl Lomachenko. So Vasyl Lomachenko comes into the fight with a record of 14 wins, 2 losses, 0 draws, 10 wins coming by way of knockout. He stands at a height of 5'7" with a 65.5-inch reach. So yeah, and Masayoshi Nakatani comes into the fight with a record of 19 wins, 1 loss, 0 draws, 13 wins coming by way of knockout. He stands at a height of 5'11.5" with a 71-inch reach. Vasyl Lomachenko is listed as a 1.9K favorite over Masayoshi Nakatani. So yeah. So now we got that out the way. So now let's talk about what they need to do to win, and then my final prediction. Let's start off with the heavy favorite, Vasyl Lomachenko. So, again, I'm a very, very, very big fan of Vasyl Lomachenko. I've been a fan of him for some years now. The first fight I ever seen of him was when he fought what's his name, Jorge Linares. So yeah, but I'm a very big fan of Lomachenko. I really, really am rooting for him hard this fight, man. I really hope that he beats Nakatani, because if he loses against Nakatani, or if he even wins against Nakatani, but it was a close fight, people are going to be very, very tough on Loma, especially me. I'm going to be very tough on Lomachenko, but I just really hope he wins. But anyways, what Loma needs to do is, first of all, he really needs to work on not starting really late, because that's how he lost against Teofimo Lopez, was that he started too late against Teo. You're not, like, especially how skilled and how talented Teo is, he started very, very late against Teo. So, and then it was tough for Loma to kind of figure him out. It was more of Vasyl didn't want to get hit by his power shots, because he would watch, because he probably watched a lot of highlights of Teofimo Lopez, and he saw of how much power that Teo has, and how much and what he can actually do to you. So I think Loma kind of was very cautious of getting hit by Lopez. So I think that's why, because he was very cautious of getting hit. But once he actually, because Because if you look at the highlights, even though he wasted like 6-7 rounds, once he kind of like felt Teal's power, he started warming up, getting used to his power. And then after that, he started, actually winning some rounds against Teal. But then Teal also winning some of the later rounds too. But it was a lot of Lomachenko in the later rounds, So so that's what Lomachenko needs to do, is not start late against Nakatani, and also is to pretty much just box how he usually does, very slick, getting in the inside and outside very quickly. But the thing Loma got to watch out for is Masayoshi Nakatani's power, because Nakatani does carry a lot of power, like he definitely proved that against the freaking a-hole, Felix Verdejo. He definitely proved that against Verdejo, and knocked him out. So, he definitely needs to watch out for Nakatani's power, because Nakatani is definitely capable of knocking Lomachenko out. But it doesn't mean that Loma has to start late. Loma has to learn how to start early, because it proved that in the Teofimo fight, you can't beat everybody by starting late, because you're losing rounds. So he needs to start off early to end, early to end. He needs to press on the gas. I don't know why, if you want to download information, watch more highlights, I'm not trying to, you can't just, discriminate me and say, oh, Preston, what are you talking about? You can't say that to me, because I'm a very big fan of Vasyl Lomachenko. I just really want him to win. And he's going to have a tough time against Nakatani if he's just going to go in and start late, because even though we all know what Nakatani is capable of, and he is capable of knocking you the hell out. Even though he can do that, doesn't mean that he's capable of knocking you the hell out. He needs to start off early, because Loma literally has the skill to beat Nakatani. It's he I don't know why he starts off late. It's different if you're just gonna maybe take away the first round, but take away 3 rounds or something, maybe 3 rounds or 2 rounds. But Loma is that kind of fighter who likes to wait for 4 or 5 rounds, and then he starts to brawl. You can't do that anymore. You can't do that against a guy like Nakatani, because Nakatani, as you know, is a very good fighter. But the thing is that questions be about Nakatani is, I'll get to that later, but but that's what Lomachenko needs to do, is start off early and not start off late, because it obviously won't work against other people, especially big fighters like Teofimo Lopez. And also he definitely needs to watch out for Nakatani's power shots. So because that's really the thing that he needs to be more mindful of. But then that's all he needs to do, because he has all the tools to try to beat Nakatani. It is a very tough fight though. So that's what Lomachenko needs to do to win. So now for the very big underdog, Masayoshi Nakatani. So what I would like to see from Nakatani is, if Loma, starts off late, take advantage of that and, win on points in those kind of rounds and really hurt Loma with your power shots. But I would really like to see more boxing of Nakatani, because Nakatani's kind of like that fighter who just, like, what's his power hand? Like, I think it's his left hand. He really tries to look for that left hand. He's kind of like Deontay Wilder. He tries to look for that, like, right hand and just tries to look for that right hand. That's what Nakatani tries to do, but not like that necessarily. You know, he does let his hands go a little bit, but he really mostly like depends on that. I would really like to see more boxing skill with Nakatani, because even though he knocked out Felix Verdejo, piece of crap Felix Verdejo, even though he knocked out, Verdejo, I was still not that impressed of Nakatani, because Nakatani should have easily beat Verdejo, and in my opinion. Yes, Verdejo was a very, very, very tough fighter, but the skill level of Nakatani, he should have easily beat and knocked out Verdejo a lot earlier. So this fight against a guy like Vasyl Lomachenko, he really needs to depend on his boxing skills and not just look for that one-punch knockout. Because if you're just going to do that, Lomachenko is just going to dodge those and just outclass you, and outwork you. So that's pretty much what Nakatani needs to do. And also be a good counterpuncher, kind of like what Teofimo did against Lomachenko. Is that every time whenever Loma came in, he paid and he got hit by Teofimo. And that's what he needs to do. Is whenever Loma coming in, like, make him pay, and then hit him with your power shot, and then really get Lomachenko's attention. Because if you do that against Lomachenko, you definitely have a good chance of beating Lomachenko. And also use your height advantage over Lomachenko, because he is a lot taller than Lomachenko. He's like 4.5 inches. He's like 4.5 inches taller than Lomachenko. Yeah, 4.5 inches taller than Lomachenko. Almost 5, but not quite. But that's what Nakatani really needs to do, is not just depend on that one power shot. And like, the thing I also question about Nakatani is when he fought Teo, good lord, he was eating a lot of those left hands from Teo. He was eating a lot of them. Like, Teo was giving him hell with those left hands, bro. Like, he couldn't do anything from those left hands. So if you're just gonna let Lomachenko pick you off like that, you're not gonna win, because I'm not saying Nakatani has slow feet, but definitely work on your footwork against Loma. Because if you're gonna have slow feet against Loma, because I'm not saying he has very slow feet, but he necessarily doesn't have the quickest footwork. So he definitely needs to work on his footwork against Loma, because Loma is a extremely fast guy when it comes down to footwork. And I would probably put him at probably number 1 at the fastest footwork. Him and Manny Pacquiao. If I would choose, I'll probably give that to Loma. You can definitely disagree with me on that. That's just my opinion, But I'm just gonna say, he does have a quicker footwork than Manny Pacquiao. He knows how to punch and then get out better than Manny Pacquiao. But I don't know. You can disagree with me on that, but don't diss me on that, because everybody has their own opinion. So that's what pretty much Nakatani needs to do to win. So yeah. So my final prediction, good fight, definitely good comeback fight for Loma. But this fight, I'm gonna favor Vasyl Lomachenko by a very, very, very wide unanimous decision. Maybe a stoppage in the later rounds, but I'm more confident on a very wide unanimous decision. I just think, Masayoshi Nakatani has a lot of power. Yes, Masayoshi Nakatani is the taller fighter and longer fighter. Yes, I get that. But skill wise, you can't forget. This is Vasyl Lomachenko. This, I know the amateurs isn't anything with the it's not nowhere near as competitive as the pros, but the dude was 360 something and only lost one. And Vasyl Lomachenko literally started off his career. What was his first? I think it was Moraga, I believe. No, Jose Luis Ramirez. And the dude at the time was 25-3 with 0 draws, dude. And he KO'd him in 4 rounds. That's pretty damn good for a guy for a pro debuter. And then after that, he did lost a split decision to Orlando Salido. A lot of people actually thought that Loma won that fight. Then after that, he went on and beat Gary Russell, Soraya Tatacone. The dude only had 1 loss at the time. 51-1. 51 and freaking 1, dude. What the hell, bro? And then he beat Rodriguez. And then after that, he beat all those guys, man. So you can't just give the dude. So that's why I picked Lomachenko to win, because skill-wise, experience-wise, yes, Masayoshi Nakatani has more experience, has more fights, but experience-wise of being in the top fights, being in the more competitive fights, Lomachenko has 10 times the experience of Nakatani. So that's why I picked Lomachenko to beat Nakatani. So yeah. So that's my final prediction. I got Vasyl Lomachenko by a wide unanimous decision, maybe TKO. And yeah, so thank y'all for watching it. Thank y'all for watching the video. And make sure you guys like and subscribe. And I am Preston from Fight Media 360.